So you just picked up an Uncle Seiko razor wire bracelet, but are having trouble sizing it to your wrist. Well, before you go to the jewelers to have them size it for you, why not try the method I'm going to show you today using two tools that you likely have lying around your house or in your watch roll bag. I'm going to show you how to punch in a link to your bracelet using a spring bar removal tool. Again, you likely have one of these lying around, but if you don't, anything that is resilient enough and has a thin pointed tip like this end here will do just fine. And a pair of tweezers. Now, you likely have these lying in your medicine cabinet, or you'll have a pair of jeweler's tweezers like these here. I like to use Dumont. It doesn't matter the quality, so long as you have something that can work these microfine links, you'll be good. First, we'll start by learning how to remove a link, and we'll do so by focusing in on a section of our bracelet. Now, as our link system is quite irregular, I want you to look at this as having 8 rings in the central area, but separate those into two groups of 4. Now, you might have noticed I've already started wedging one of these links out by pressing the split pin on the interior of this link. But as we're looking at the links now, you'll notice what I'm talking about by groups of 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This patterning is going to be important to remember as we move to sizing this for our wrist. Now, to remove a link is actually quite simple. We'll do so by pushing on one of these split pins till it pushes out the opposite end. Always by pushing the end that's folded over like this one here, with the split end on the opposite side. And now with the easy part out of the way, let's work on adding links to our bracelet. Here is where the pair of tweezers will come in handy. Now, bearing in mind those groups of 4 I mentioned earlier on, if we were to look at the central area of our bracelet, you'll notice again those 8 rings, and let's separate them out into those groups of 4 as I mentioned. Here is a group of 4, and up top is another group of 4. For the link that is being added in, it is the outside rings of those groups of 4 that are going into the bracelet. So with our first group of 4, we have this outside ring and this outside ring. And the same thing goes for the bottom. We'll go ahead and move this up ahead, as well as this guy up ahead. And now you can begin to see the pattern take shape, where those rear links make up the arrows we see. These front-facing links will form new arrowheads going towards the bracelet. This part is a little time consuming, so I skipped the video so we can see the end result here. But once you get those 2 groups of 4 set into the forward-facing groups of 4, you'll notice that arrowhead pattern distinctly in our bracelet links. Now this part is the easiest and most rewarding. We are going to take that split head pin, taking the curled side or the bent over end of our pin and placing it in the appropriate hole of our link. I like to just, again, steadily work out the rings that don't want to get caught up in this pattern and slowly push this guy into the new link. You may get held up along the way. Feel free to take your tweezers, push the link that belongs in the system ahead, push the pin down, and keep working it through our pattern until it shows up on the other side. Without our link being secured, you can clearly see that arrowhead pattern I mentioned, or weave going up and down the bracelet now. At this point, all you need to do is take your spring bar tool and push this end of the bracelet securely inside the link. This is exactly how the added link should look when attached to your bracelet. And after just a little bit of trial and error, figuring out how many links you're going to leave on the bracelet and adjusting the micro adjustment layers, you'll have the perfect fitting Uncle Seiko razor wire bracelet. Now, as a rule of thumb, I like to leave just a little bit of space between my bracelet and the wrist, just in case my wrist swells throughout daily activity or if it's hot outside. Now, how much space, you might ask? If I can fit my index finger comfortably under the bracelet between my wrist and the bracelet, that is a fair enough amount of space. Now, with this advice in mind, good luck at sizing your bracelet at home. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. My name is Patrick Marlette, and thank you for the time.